up. This dream caused me to wake up in a sweat which I have never had. This is a very telling dream. I am in a large hotel, I am moving up and down between the various floors of the hotel. I am in a happy, jubilant state of mind. I then find myself in the hotel's kitchen. When I get into the kitchen, I find the kitchen staff not working. I am still in a jubilant mood. The chef is leaning on one of the items where they serve food in the kitchen. He tells me I need to wake up. In this relaxed state I am not seeing events in South Africa. I said to him, I do not know what he is talking about. He says to me, mate, look here, it is in the news. He picks up the newspaper, I see the front page of the newspaper and my heart and soul melt. I see my beloved country is in turmoil, and then the phone rings in the kitchen. The chef answers the phone, he hands the phone to me. I begin to speak and immediately I am transported to a beautiful botanical gardens. The botanical gardens are on a hill. These gardens are amazing, the hedges of the garden, everything is perfect. This is high up on a hill, it is the highest point of the land where these gardens are. The sky is clear around me, it is a beautiful sunny day. I then walk on top of a hill, the highest point in this garden, and I look ahead. I see it, it is a cloud, a massive cloud. It is a single large cloud. It is rolling in. It is in the distance, but as I watch it, it begins to change color from a light white color, it changes from white to gray and then dark gray. I feel the atmosphere in the gardens change. And then the words come to me. These are the war clouds approaching South Africa. They are moving fast. At this point I woke up from the dream after only 3 hours of less sleep. This, my fellow countrymen, is a sign. Do not take things for granted. The dream is telling you to stay vigilant and to not take your eye off what is coming. It is a telltale indication from the Almighty that war clouds are on the horizon. When the cloud appears, it changes fast and the atmosphere will change rapidly and the temperature drop. During this dream I saw that things were right in front of us, yet the people could not see what was happening and could not read the signs. This is the only dream I have had where I woke up in a sweat, and even now when I type this, I get a terrible feeling. First war cloud appears and morphs. Last year on the 29th of December, I had a first war cloud appears and morphs. Last year on the 29th of December, I had a very vivid dream about war clouds on the horizon. While I was taken high up on a mountain, I saw the cloud in the distance. It is as if someone was standing behind me in the dream speaking, a divine being or angel telling me to look at the clouds. I watched as the cloud rolled in. It moved so slowly in the open sky, it moved and I was mesmerized by how it moved. It looked like tumbleweed rolling in the air. When I asked, what is this I am seeing, this being or angel I could not see told me this is a war cloud and to pay attention. I have been wanting to write this for the past 2 weeks, but I have put it off due waiting for further confirmation of events. Remember, the war cloud changed shape 3 times. When I first saw it, I was taken in by it. It was large, it was the only cloud in the sky and it was rolling in. When I asked, what is this, I was told it was a war cloud, but when I looked at the war cloud again, it morphed for the 2nd time. As I was getting my mind around the war cloud, what the being or angel told me, just wrapping my head around this war cloud, it changed and morphed again, but this time. From the 2nd changing of the cloud to the 3rd time, the cloud was over the entire country and over the nation. So let's discuss this first war cloud and how it is already formed and changing, morphing into the 2nd war cloud. The first war cloud is Zuma's arrest and his MK vets standing by him, saying they would die for him. Then we saw Malema show up at Zuma's house. Now still to this day, Zuma has not appeared in court. He keeps saying it's because acting Judge Raymond Zondo has some issue with him and that he is married to a former wife. Let's look at this from a military angle. Remember, Zuma was in charge of the arm wing. He is not someone you play around with unless you are prepared to go to war. Zuma has hijacked the entire court case. Either they put someone in who will do what Zuma wants, or he will not stand trial. If you allow that, then you have to also accept what verdict Zuma gives himself. It's a power play. If Zuma gets his judge of choice, then he can also protest the outcome. This is all a war tactic to draw this process out, while bringing the country to the revolution. Now today the cloud morphed. We see the student protests. Do you think this just happened out of nowhere? Do you really think this is some flare-up or some one-off event? Think about it, take your time. I would prefer you think about it before I reveal it, so you can see what is really going on here, and I will show you how this all fits in with these war clouds. Just take a minute to think about what I have said, pause the video if you have to, and think of the war cloud, who showed up at Zuma's house, Zuma's statements, MK vet statements, and now what the students are doing. Think about it before I reveal it. This way when you see the revelation it will have a much more impactful revelation than if I simply show it to you. Okay, so hopefully you have thought about things. I would prefer people think than simply let me talk and show you events. This way you can see them happen before anyone in the news mentions them. It was none other than Jacob Zuma who offered free higher education back in December 2017. What do we see happening right now with the students and their protests? Are they not demanding higher education? What did we see yesterday? Yesterday we saw MK vets attack foreign shops. Today we see student protests and we see the police heavy response. Why do you think the police took such a heavy response? The students were doing what they have always been taught to do, burning, breaking, destroying, the only thing these things can do. Again, we must ask why. This is a video of asking why, and then I will reveal it. This way you see the cloud morphing and changing, and are all will be getting prepared for when the cloud comes over the whole land. The police controlled from the top. No, this is the making of the country ungovernable. We are on the verge of a revolution. The police will not be able to hold the thing together. Zuma knows the country is on its knees. Who did we see making the most noise at the student protest? Was it not the EFF students? Oh yes, it was. Go watch the videos. So we have the students leading the protests led by the EFF. We had the EFF meet with Zuma a few weeks ago. We have the MK vets now burning down foreign shops in Natal. So the war is being waged now on two fronts. Now as the economy wobbles, as the ANC run out of money, as the police are stretched to capacity, you have a vacuum being formed. The police also not earning enough, higher inflation coming, soon they will be worked to the bone and the government will be pushed to use more force. This will lead to greater violence. The first war cloud was Zuma's people threatening war. They made sure that it was no idle threat. We saw them burn down the shops. We know Zuma was at the top in making KwaZulu-Natal ungovernable in the 1990s. We now have the student protests and more to come. Do you think it is a coincidence? Zuma is showing them he is in control. He has the support of the one faction of the ANC behind him, which leaves Ramaphosa out in the lurch. The problem comes now that you will have more violence against foreigners, police stretched due to more student protests, and this is where our greatest danger comes in, because this is the beginning of the revolution. With the police stretched, how could they prevent or stop any mass attack against the whites as the seer spoke about? So Zuma is more than likely going to go to court. The news will focus on that case. This will be the focus. All the while the media is focused on that, they will not cover the protests going on in the background. This is the first war cloud morphing. We stare at the first appearance of the war cloud, then when we see what it is, our minds still do not fully grasp the severity of the situation. The first war cloud takes the center stage, even though it morphs and changes. We still focus on the first war cloud, and by the time we see the second war cloud and understand what is going on, it then changes into the third and final war cloud when it is over the nation and too late to react. First war cloud is Zuma's trial and his members MK vets causing problems. Second wall cloud does not seem too big, but it is part of the main cloud. These are the student protests and